Okay, so in this video, we are going to look at Julia code for string processing. Uh, so we'll be covering code files 6 and 7 in this video. Now, first of all, let's say how we want to get the ASCII value of any character. Okay, so we could say assign a character variable C. Again, we don't need to declare explicitly this as char C or anything. If you assign this to a character, say A, then C automatically becomes a character variable. So you can print, so this is just a user text, whatever you want to print, like ASCII value of C. And this is a key thing. If you pass int of a character variable, it's going to print the or return the ASCII value of the value stored in that character variable. So in this case, for character A. Let me run this program as we go through this code so that we can better understand what each line of code is doing. Again, I'm going to run it for the first time, so after a while, so it's going to take some time. Okay, that's good. All right, so the ASCII value of C, again, C is not literally this C, this character stored in that C is A. So the ASCII value of A is going to be 97. Then, so the int function returns the ASCII value of the character passed. Then, so if you want to do some comparisons, so for example, we know that if you put within single quotes, it's going to be a character. So the one is not treated as an integer here, it's a character one. And if you pass int of one, it's going to return the ASCII value of the character one. That's not same as character one itself. So this comparison should return false. That's what we see here is returning false. Then the ASCII value of character B is, we are comparing with an integer 98, and it is 98 because for A, it printed as 97, so it should be 98 for B, so that's going to be true. Then let's see some more interesting useful functions. Like if you want to retrieve some substrings of a string, we can have these functions that I'm going to show now. Let's say you first want user to enter a string. So you can use the readline command, which I said already is going to capture whatever you enter for a line as a string. So I'm going to store that in a variable s. So I put ln here. So after printing this text enter a string, the control goes to the next line because I have used ln. Okay. All right. So this is what is going to be stored in s once I press enter. So I'm extracting different substrings of the string. Okay, so one way to extract substring is you can say the s, which is the string variable name here. Now, remember that string indexing as well as array indexing in Julia will start from 1. So it's not like 0. It's a starting index like in C++ and Java. It's 1. Okay. So here we are trying to retrieve the characters located at index or from index 2 to index 5 in that string s. So this is my string. This is n is at index 1, a is at index 2, t at index 3, a is at 4, r is at 5. So a, t, a, r is basically the substring I'm extracting with this first this command here. Okay. Now another way to extract substring is, of course, the same idea, passing the starting index and the ending index of the substring we want to extract. Now, there are two keywords in Julia to access the array value. So string is basically an array of characters. Okay, so the begin keyword basically will be index 1, starting at index 1. So instead of putting 1, you could put begin. They are both the same. Then end is basically the index of the last accessible character in the string. So when you say end minus 1, then that will be like one character before the last character. So in this case, it's going to basically extract everything starting from the capital N all the way to this A here, like as you see. So basically other than the last character. Then the third way, or basically you can see this is just a second way. So one way is to, let me summarize here, the string name and then the starting index to the ending index. Yeah, within which you want to, or for which you want to extract the substring. Then the other way is to call the substring function, pass the string variable name, and then again the starting index and ending index. So I want to extract now from index 3 to 5 in the string S. So that will be TAR. That's what will be extracted. Now, in all these cases, I'm just printing the substring extracted. So this function basically returns substring, but I'm not storing that in any different strings. So it's still going to just get printed. So instead, you can store that substring that's returned from this function in another string variable name, say S1. And that's what I'm doing here. So now what I'm trying to do is, so another string processing technique is, so if you want to do a concatenation, so you could put a star and that will concatenate whatever string is extracted with this string, which is just 4 dots. So you can see from 4 to 8 in my string, it's going to be A, R, A, J, A. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 5 characters, A, R, A, J, A, and then these 4 dots. So they just got concatenated with my S1, and I'm printing that as a substring. So you could do concatenation like this. Now, you could concatenate whatever you want. So for example, if you want to concatenate S1 times space and then just one period, or some other character, whatever, it's up to you. And so just put within double quotes and then put say $sign if you want, and then print that substring. That's perfectly fine. So let's run it. Now it has run a little quickly compared to the last time. I'm going to get that. Check. I think the dollar is not allowed. See, so it should be dollar is kind of like a key symbol. So let's put something else. See if this is allowed. Yes. So you could not use dollar as a concatenating symbol. Okay. All right. So that's what we could do with the star operator that you could use for string concatenation. You could put any name if you want. So let's say something like that. It's going to automatically concatenate without any problem. Let me clear the screen. Yeah, so you could concatenate any text you want without any problem. All right, so with this, we finish this video. Let's go on to the next video. Also, next file. So we'll go to this file also in this video and then finish this video. So some string manipulations. Okay, so again, you ask the user to enter a string and you also ask the user to enter a substring. And what you want to do is you want to find the index of first occurrence of that substring. So let's run this and see what's going on. So enter a string. So here I'm just using print, so it's staying the same line. Enter a substring. So let's say I enter this RAJAN as my substring. So let's see what it's printing. So index of first occurrence can be found by calling this find first function and passing these two arguments, the substring that you want to find the index for and the original string. So it's going to find out the first occurrence of that substring. So this RAJAN occurs here. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starting from index 5, and it's spanning up to 6, 7, 8, 9, index 9. So 5 to 9. So that's what this index of first occurrence is going to store, the range 5 to 9. Then if you want to replace this string that is stored in sub, which will be this RAJAN, with something else, you want to get that as an input from the user. So that's what it's waiting for. So let's say I want to just make it RAJ, capital RAJ. So that's going to be stored in this REP string. That's what it's being stored. But then what it's going to do is it's calling the replace function. And again, this is the original string. And the sub RAJN is going to be replaced with RAJ. So this implies kind of symbol is a symbol that we use to replace the text on the left-hand side with the text on the right-hand side, or basically the substring on the left-hand side with the substring on the right-hand side on this original string S. So, and you're assigning the return value of this replace function back to S itself. So S is going to get changed now after we do that. So it's going to be printed now as NATA. I'm printing this S itself. So that's going to get printed as NATARAJ now, capital RAJ, then Meganada. Now, let's do one few more. So let's say now I got a new string, basically S1. And I want to kind of repeat a string. So let's say I want to repeat this word hello that has a kind of blank space in the front and a blank space at the end. And I want to repeat it 3 times. So if you see here, this blank space hello followed by this blank space, that's this hello here. So each hello has a blank space in front as well as at the end. And then the next hello will be basically with this blank space in the front and the blank space at the end. So that's going to be 2 blank spaces now as you can get in, as you kind of, this is basically doing an exponentiation of a string. So this is for the first time I'm seeing a string could be gone through an exponentiation operation in any programming language. So Julia has a very good feature. And then again, the following blank space here. And then the third hello with the opening blank space and ending blank space. So that's what I'm printing with S1. So now what we could do is we could also see how to strip a string of all these leading and trailing white space characters. So it's not just the white space. White space means the blank space characters that you could trim or remove, but also remove some characters that you want at the beginning or ending of the string. So we see that in this S1, what you have at the beginning is a blank space that could be trimmed using the strip function, as well as this H if you want to, or even the HE if you want to. But again, HE is not a character, it's going to be a string. So you cannot pass HE together. You have to first strip H, and then you get something like this, and then you can again call the strip function and remove that next character E. Okay, so you can remove only one character at a time and any blank space. And if you want to do that repeatedly, that's possible. You have to make it like a loop and then keep repeating the subsequent characters. So you could pass a sequence of characters because you could remove or strip the string of both leading and trailing white space characters as well as some other characters. So that means if you want to remove the O as well, we could remove. So in this case, I'm just removing the blank space in the front and at the end, as well as H, which is in the front. So that means the blank spaces H are gone. It's going to be ELLO. But you see, these 2 blank spaces are not going to be removed because with the strip function, we can remove only the blank spaces at the leading means at the beginning of the text, as well as at the last, at the end of the text, not anywhere in between. Okay, so the 2 blank spaces are still there, followed by the hello. Again, the 2 blank spaces followed by the hello. And then we don't really see that here because at the end of the string, but that blank space after that O here now has been removed. Okay, now we could also split a string. Let's try one more function if you want to. Let's try printing the length of, now again, I am not changing S1 here. I am returning that stripped string and storing that as S2. So we could literally try this. I have not tried it on a string array, but let's try this. Length of S1 and S2 should print the number of characters you have. Length of S1, comma, length of S2. So let's try it out. Okay, let's say, let me do something that keeps repeating. Let's say I want to remove this AN, which is also coming here and coming here. So this AN is that sub, okay? The AN is a sub. So I'm finding the index of first occurrence of that. So let's see, it's occurring from 8 to 9. That's what this AN is at index 8, and the N is at index 9. That's what is going to print. But let's say now I want to replace that AN with capital AN. And let's see what the replace function that we have here does. You see here, it's independent of the index of first occurrence function because that's or the find first function that finds index of first occurrence. It's nothing, it does not, the replace function has nothing to do with find first. The find first function just will find the index of first occurrence of that substring. Whereas this replace function will replace wherever that substring AN is with this capital AN, which is our string stored in this variable REP. Okay, so it's getting replaced. So that's one part. Then let's look at this repeating a string segment. So S1 is our hello appearing 3 times. And when we trim, we are removing this blank space character in the beginning and this hedge, as well as the blank space character at the end of the string, which is after this O. So this kind of stripped or trimmed string, we can say this S2 is basically going to have just starting from E all the way up to this O. It doesn't have any leading or trailing blank space character. So the length of S1 and S2, so S1 is this hello thing here. It has this 21 characters, including the blank spaces in the beginning and the end. And then this S2, which is this string without any blank space, is 18. Because remember, we removed 3 characters, the trailing, so the leading blank space, as well as this hedge, followed by the trailing blank space. So 3 characters are removed. All right, so now let's look at splitting a string. So let's go back to our S. So remember, S was changed to something like this. Natarajan, where AN and all the ANs are in capital. That's what our new S is. The original S was being replaced by the return value of the replace function. So I'm splitting that. There's a function called split that can be used to split any string. So the way the splitting is done is it's going to split based on the blank space. Okay, so it will split this Natarajan as Natarajan is one string basically that's stored, and then Meghanathan. Now it's going to split as an array of substrings. So you can see the return value of the split of S is going to be stored in this S3, and you can print S3 as it is. That is going to print the array of these 2 substrings. So we're going to cover array in the next video, but you know array is a collection of things, elements. So here this is a collection of substrings, or basically the substring is a string, so you can say it's an array of strings. So this Natarajan is one string and Meghanathan is another string. All right, now since this is an array, and array indexing also starts from 1, we can access any element of or any string in the string array. So let's say if I say S3 of 2 to be printed, it's going to print only this Meghanathan because that's the second element in this array. And if you say S3 of 1, that's going to print just Natarajan. Okay, so that's kind of how you can split a string based on the blank space and process the individual substrings. So with this, I'll stop this video.